This is why helping others is not serving you. And a lot of the times we want to help others. It's in our nature. We love helping. It makes us feel good. And a lot of times it could also stem from a place of seeking validation and approval, leading towards people pleasing. And a lot of the times when you do something like this and you overextend yourself and you burn out and you don't know how to set proper boundaries with people and you do things with an expectation of something in return, which is they'll like me, they'll think I'm awesome, they'll listen to me, they'll be my friend. That's manipulation. You're doing something to get something, and it's very deep within you. It's a core wound of worthiness, and that's what usually creates people pleasers. Because if you say no, they're not going to like you. You're afraid of that. You're going to upset them. Maybe one day when you ask them for help, they'll tell you no. And I used to be like that for a while in my life because I had a huge worthiness wound. And all I wanted was really validation and approval and friends and basically people I could look at as family, because I didn't really have that growing up. My parents both worked a lot. My dad was abusive, and my mom hardly ever listens to me. I try to have deep, meaningful conversations with her, and I express my feelings to her now, and I set proper boundaries. She'll go ahead and disrespect them and walk all over them, right? She'll come and visit, and I'll be like in the bathroom or something, and I'm like, I can't. She would start asking me questions and stuff through the door, and I'm like, I'll help you when I get out. Not right now. I'm in the bathroom. Like, please leave me alone. She'll still continue with her question. She's like, oh yeah, no, I still just want to know this. Just tell me this and I'll go away. She just doesn't stop. Right. And here's the thing about this is like, when you've been so nice and kind to people, and I love my mom and I've done so much for her. I've went through the end of the world for her. I've done so many things to get her to a safe place in her life, especially taking her away from my abusive dad. Well, I mean, I didn't take her away. She wanted to get a divorce. Eventually things really escalated to the point where I had to file a protection order. I was going to nursing school at the time, taking my prerequisites. I was taking anatomy and physiology and other biology and chemistry classes. And literally I had like exams coming up. Mom's like, hey, I need you to help me figure this out and submit all this stuff to the court and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I have like 2-3 days to do all this and testimonies that I have to reply to and all sorts of stuff and like put it all together. And I'm like, I either do this for you or I basically fail my exams, which means I will fail these classes. I'm not going to get the GPA average I need to qualify for my nursing program. So, and at that point, I finally reached the place in my life where I was a 4.0 student, which I never was before. The reason why I bring this up is I've sacrificed so much, and it's like, sometimes people will never shift no matter how much you do. They'll never actually realize how much you've done, and then you have to be okay with that. And that's the main key. That's the biggest mistake, is doing something with that expectation. Me doing so much and sacrificing these classes, even for my mom, I thought finally she'll see that I'm worthy. Finally, my mom will love me. She'll see how much I've done. She'll finally start listening to me more or whatever. And I made like a whole like hour-long video the other day with me expressing boundaries to my mom and how I feel when she does certain behaviors. You can watch that if you want. Maybe I'll tag it in at the end after this. Probably not. I prefer people not to watch that video just because it was really vulnerable. Although I am showing up fully vulnerable nowadays for the whole internet to see. And because I want it to assist you on your journey. Because I've been through this stuff too. I'm not some guru on top of a mountain. I've just learned through experience how to handle these things. So the biggest thing you can do is, number one, to fix this mistake of people pleasing is, if you're not going to be a nice guy or nice woman. You're not going to do things out of niceness, because being nice is bad. You know, there's like some weird vibe with nice people. And it's like, if you're doing something out of niceness, it's usually implying there's like something like a hook in behind it. You're expecting something. But when you do things out of kindness, kindness is like, here's extra energy. I have it. I want to do this. I give it to you and I don't expect anything in return. So one is to move from being nice to being kind. Doing things out of kindness, and you give without the expectation. So what if they run off, they call you bad names, they take this? That was a gift. My energy, whatever I gave you, finances, money, it was a gift. It was out of kindness. Even when you have a romantic partner who supports you financially, which I did during that 2020 time when things got real funny and I lost my job and I was supposed to go back to finish my nursing, things just got real wild. This person held finances over my head so much. It was never enough, whatever I did. I'm cooking breakfast, lunch, dinner, cleaning the house. I'm basically house husband and pleasing her too, and in the bedroom. And it's like, I'm doing it all. On top of that, I ended up getting like a food bank job where I was able to also bring in like $200-300 worth of organic produce every week. And I was like paying like 30% of our rent, and she was paying the rest at the beginning. And then eventually I went back to, I think, 45% because I was still trying to save up a little bit because I was paying some of my tuition for nursing. Either way, though, she held it over my head. It was never enough. This person was a covert narcissist. And I thought the energy I was giving, being a personal chef, being a personal masseuse, even a kinky masseuse, whatever it is, and a maid, like that all costs money. Maids are like $500 when they come and visit and up, right? That's like a good maid is like $500. So I'm doing all this and you're telling me it's not enough, right? So you'll expel and burn out energy to people that don't appreciate it. And especially if they're a covert narcissist, they're going to latch on and they're just used to what you're giving, and that's what they're getting. That's why it's so important to set boundaries. And this woman I was dating did not do this out of kindness. Sure, I'm sure there was some parts where it was out of love, except it was to manipulate me. And then it was so horrible holding that over someone's head, right? So I allowed that to happen for too long. And this person was not doing things out of kindness. They were doing things to manipulate my situation. And then also knowing that I'm in a very vulnerable position in my life, right? With the roof over my head that I'm fearing of losing during a time when the world is literally feels like it's collapsing. This person also, which I'm just going to get in this real quick. When this first started, at one point, there was just so much happening. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to be able to go back to school. I'm not going to be able to finish my nursing. Like, I don't know. Everything felt just like it was falling apart. And I was just crying on the floor, just like sobbing and just like kind of quietly, but just like tears running down my face. And we had some guests coming over. We were going to hang out outside because we had a big area, and they were her friends. You know, I just started bawling like 30 minutes right prior. She came up to me. She's like, I knew this would happen. I knew blah, blah, blah. And started attacking me. Didn't give me any sympathy or any compassion for crying and feeling the way I felt. She's like, you're too emotional. You're too sensitive. And it's like, that's how you can identify. One, you're in a financial constraint with someone, and they're being emotionally abusive towards you. That is a covert narcissist. So point is, so number one, step away from being nice. If you're going to do something, just do it without expectation. You know, and I kind of did that too, out of the expectation of like, hey, I'm going to have a roof over my head. I'm going to be safe. I was looking for and searching for safety. And then the other thing that's a major focus is when you do help people, the focus is to empower them, not just do things for them. Show them how, empower them to. And my mom doesn't know English very well. She's been here for 20 plus years in America. We moved here when I was very young. And the thing about this is she like somehow is not able to invest in herself, and that's okay. Except she always comes to me when she needs help, or my little brother. Can you do this for me? Do that for me? Can you explain this to me? Can you read this? Do that. And it's like, why are you not allowing yourself the opportunity to grow and expand? That's what I've been telling her lately. I'm like, why don't you go ahead and maybe take an English class, figure something out, maybe expand, choose to be better, not wish for your life to be easier, than have me do all these things for you, right? And I've been saying no lately because I've been empowering her to take steps towards bettering herself. So, and when you do stuff like this for people, when you empower them, it doesn't matter what the outcome is. When you do anything for anybody, you cannot hold it over them. You can't expect anything in return. That's true kindness. Even if you're financially supporting someone, you don't go and backlash at them and start telling them that they're a horrible person. They're not good enough. You need more from them. I need you to do this, this, and that. It's like, they're not your slave. They're not working for you. Especially if they're a loved one. You're telling them I love you at the end of the night. That's not out of love. So think about that. Allow people to get better on their own too. Know when it's time to start pulling back, because if you keep giving so much, you're never giving them the opportunity to actually grow and expand, because they're coming straight to you, who they know you'll take care of it. And then eventually you build on resentment when you find out how much you've been being drained for so long. That's why it's important to set boundaries with people. You saying no is the boundary. Also, when somebody ever does anything, the best way I set boundaries, if they're doing something you don't like, is, hey, I feel this way when you do this behavior, and I would like this to happen. I want you to make this type of shift. Can you do this? That's setting a boundary. I feel sad. I feel depressed. I feel attacked. I feel like you're harassing me consistently when you do this behavior. Put the responsibility on them and then create the call to action. I want this to stop. I want you to stop. Because once you set that boundary, I know sometimes it can be tough saying those words to them and telling them to stop and asking them to stop, because now we're like, are our needs worthy of them treating us better? What if they leave and don't want to be our friend anymore? You got to let that go, because that relationship probably isn't meant for you. Allow things to leave and allow things to grow and expand if need be. Otherwise, you'll be stuck and you'll never actually find out, can this relationship get better? Is there a better person for me out there? Better friend, better lover? It starts with you setting boundaries around your energy and yourself and giving opportunities for people to grow. And setting boundaries is one of the ultimate ways to do that, because you're inviting someone to an emotional sanctuary with you, a vulnerable place together where you can connect and share those deep feelings and find out if this relationship is going to work or not. If you want to stop feeling like you're drained, allow people to grow. Don't just keep doing stuff for them, and do things out of kindness and don't expect anything in return. It's that simple. You cannot hold it over someone's head. You can't hold resentment if you do something for someone and they don't return the favor. All right, so have an alchemizing day and namaste.